Looking for your next favorite book? Or maybe your next ghost story? From the Ground Up Books isn't just a bookstore, it's an experience. With 2 unique locations in LaGrange and Shepherdsville, we're proud to be a local hub for readers, writers, and lovers of the unusual. Our LaGrange store is tucked inside the historic Ballard House, built in 1840, and yes, it's haunted. Join us for book signings, author events, and ghost hunts through this legendary Kentucky landmark. Or stop by our Shepherdsville store, nestled along the Bourbon Trail, for small-town charm, indie reads, and a few spirited surprises of its own. So if you love books, community, and just the right amount of weird, come visit us in person or explore online at FromTheGroundUpBooks.com. From the Ground Up Books. Read local, feel the history, keep it weird, y'all.
Feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or energetically off balance? It might be time to reconnect with yourself. At Mystic Bliss Reiki, we offer heart-centered healing using Usui Holy Fire and Karuna Reiki to help you release stress, clear energetic blockages, and awaken your inner peace. Whether you're seeking personal transformation, looking to heal from past emotional wounds, or curious about your soul's journey through past life regression, Mystic Bliss Reiki is your sacred space for spiritual renewal. We also offer certified Reiki training so you can not only receive healing, but also become a healer. Sessions are available in person or online, so wherever you are, your healing can begin. Are you ready to feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned? Visit mysticblissreiki.com and book your session today. Where energy flows, healing begins.
Hello and welcome to Weirdos in the Wild with our co-hosts, AJ Oxley, paranormal investigator with Beyond This Life Paranormal and multi-generational paranormal enthusiast, and Lynn Tincher, Beyond This Life paranormal investigator, Reiki master, published author, and near-death experiencer. Travel with them, a couple of everyday weirdos on a wild ride to all things paranormal and metaphysical.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Weirdos in the Wild. My name's AJ.
And I'm Lynn.
And Lynn, we have a very special guest with us today.
We do.
Somebody who's been with us before.
Couple times. So you want to introduce her? She's kind of special to you. Not that she's not special to me, but... It's my daughter, Becca, our debunker.
Right. That's right. Our specialist here, our scientist, a true scientist. Becca, we're glad you're with us today.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
She's like, whatever. So, since we did talk about that she is our debunking expert, that's what we're going to talk about today.
That's right.
She is part of Beyond This Life, and she is kind of, I don't know if she knew she was going to become this, but she become our official debunker just because of, well, she's good at it. That's that simple.
She's good at it. She's got a physics degree. She's,
just finished a master's.
Just finished her master's in big data science. And
yep.
So she's got the smarts to throw some science at this stuff. So
right. And we've done it a lot. And unfortunately, Becca is not close by us anymore, and we don't get to ghost hunt with her as much as we would love to. But
we still send her stuff
all the time. And that's why we keep her in the loop that way too. Because it's also kind of a good thing that we have her as this person that is not with us when we have these things.
Right. So she has a good, fresh perspective.
Yeah. So I guess, Becca, first of all, we send you a piece of evidence. What's your first thing? Just kind of talk us through what you do when we send you stuff, or you also just when you see stuff, because it happens to all of us. We'll see something online and it's easy today to say it's AI.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know if it's coming from you guys, I know for sure it's not AI because I know that you all don't have time to fake that stuff.
That is true.
And you've been with us, and you know how we operate.
I know that you
I'm
point
too
and
stupid
shoot.
to make AI stuff. So I don't know how to do that, so.
You know, you just get your phone out and you record something, and you go back and you look at it later.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's not even stuff that you saw in the moment.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I know that you guys don't fake it. But what I look for at the beginning, when you first send me something, usually, if it's an audio, I listen to it once without really slowing it down or really listening for anything. I just listen, right? I'm not trying to pick out words or anything, because it may not even be words. It may be footsteps or what have you. But I just listen to it once, and then I'll ask you questions. You know, who was in the room? Were you by yourself?
Was the air conditioner on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I hear this and it sounds like an air conditioner. Well, I was outside. There wasn't any air conditioning. So there are things like that I do with audio stuff. With video, it's usually I try to look for where the light is coming from. I look for light sources like windows, because even if the lights aren't on, you can still get some reflections from out of the windows.
Camera reflections.
Yeah. It just kind of depends on what you guys send me, what I look for.
Yeah. Well, I think you definitely hit on some key points that I think that kind of every ghost hunter should have in their toolbox. If you're the debunker for the group, or you're just everyday, you know, me that's not the debunker.
Yeah, old schmo.
Yeah, I'm just not the expert at any of it. You know, first of all, every sound, every shadow, every light, everything is not paranormal. Now, we know people, we've hunted with people that everything is paranormal. And it's not. You know, you brought up a really good point, and was the air conditioning on? You know, I think that the ghost hunter has to have a basic knowledge of general sounds you're going to hear in a building.
Right.
You know, yes, we go to old buildings. Old buildings creak. Just because it creaks doesn't mean it's a ghost. You know, we are in places that are old, so they do have old air conditioning units, old heating things, and they bang and
they're drafty, and yeah.
Yeah, I remember one time there was a place that we went where I think either a window had broken or a door had opened right when they had a snowstorm. There was a snowdrift on the inside of the building. And it was like you couldn't walk by it without getting a cold chill.
Right.
You know, and if you're not thinking through that and you're like, oh, I got a chill. Well, yeah, you did, because the door's open and it's snowy. It's
and
below
it's 4
freezing.
below, yeah.
right. Yeah, so, you know, plumbing makes funny noises.
Yeah.
I mean, and so there's
Old wiring.
Exactly. Yeah. Old wiring. Yes. I mean, if you're using, you know, looking for electromagnetic fields, you know, old wiring is going to go off the chart.
Right. That's why we usually take our K2 meters and go around the room and find where the breaker box is, or where the outlets are, or kind of where the pipes run that maybe has the electric wires in it. You know, sometimes they put them in pipes or whatever. So we try to find all those sources of
Right.
EMF.
I think that people also don't fully understand that even if a wire is in the wall, it can still be exposed inside the wall. And any exposed wire is going to, you know, have current coming off of it, and you're going to be able to read it with any kind of equipment. You might even feel it a little bit. You know, you might get the little tingly goosebumps, and your hair on the back of your neck might stand up. But
Right.
that's because of electricity.
Right. Yeah, they say if you're around a lot of EMF activity, you do get the feeling you're being watched. You do get these feelings that, you know, you think that something paranormal is going on. So
Exactly.
And the one thing I remember my brother, John, when he did it, for some reason I'm trying to lose my voice, but he said if you get like an EMF hit, follow it. If it moves, and you're going with it, that could be something paranormal. If it stays static or just goes away, it could possibly not be. But if, because electromagnetic field's not going to just go around the room here and there.
Right.
So if you're following it with that, then maybe you got something paranormal. So that's one way to look at it. If it's static in the floor and it's been there for 4 hours, there's probably something
not.
in the floor.
Right. And you made a good point, and you kind of went over it quickly, but I think it was a really good point, Lynn, is that we go into a room, especially if we're going to use a K2 or something like that, we sweep that room first. Because we'll know right off the bat, and like you said, you can go to the wall, or you can go by a wall where there's an outlet in the wall, a light, a switch, whatever. You can follow that switch up. You can follow that, that plug in around the room, wherever it may be. And it doesn't have to be against the wall. We've ran into stuff where we've thought, this is crazy. What's going on here? Thinking of one particular location where we thought we were laying on it. Well, I was laying on a bed, and we thought something was going on. Come to find out, directly underneath that bed was a light and a ceiling fan.
That was on and running. Yep.
Yeah. So, no, it wasn't what we thought it was.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. But
Most
it also,
likely not.
Most
Most
likely
likely not.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was, we can't, because of that, we can't just definitively say we had something paranormal going on.
Right.
Right.
So one of the other things that we all try to do, even if it's not EMF related, is we try to recreate things. And that's one way that you can really debunk on the spot, or, even go back later and try to recreate, make sure lighting or somebody's shadow didn't get in the way, or, something else could have interfered or whatever. And I know Becca has a specific thing that she debunked for us that just from her recreating it from months later. And you want to tell us about that a little bit?
Sure. AJ actually helped me recreate that.
I did.
So we went somewhere where they had recently posted a video of a shadow going across a room as a door closed. So as soon as we got there, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go up there and see if we could recreate it, because it was a cool video, and I was like, oh, if I can debunk that, I don't know, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, or if you didn't debunk it, then it's
And
like,
it also
hey,
makes you feel good.
Yeah.
But we headed up there, and it was a really heavy door. So, but once you got it moving, it was one of those doors that will just shut itself, because it's once it gets momentum, it just goes. And we were trying to see if there was anything in the room that could cause the door to start motion, because once it got started, it wasn't going to stop. So we were walking around the room trying to see if someone could shift their weight on a floorboard to offset the door hinges enough to get the door moving. That didn't really work. I don't remember. Did we try anything else to get the door to shut on its own?
We tried several different things to get it to shut on its own. But the main part was the shadow.
Yeah, the main part was the shadow. We watched it close from the outside, from the inside. Nothing was really going on. But you had brought a camera that has night vision. And that type of camera, there's always a laser on the front of it, right? So it emits its own light, and that's how it can see in the dark.
Even though we can't see it.
Exactly. We can't see that light, but the camera can pick up on those wavelengths. And so I recorded it just like close to the same angle that the security camera was at, because it was a security camera video. And I had AJ go in there and shut the door and stay behind the door so that he wouldn't be in the frame. And we found out that the shadow behind the door was actually the shadow created by the door itself from the camera that was recording it, because even though we couldn't see that shadow, the camera could. So that was immediately debunked.
So that's one of the things to definitely keep in mind on some of these videos, especially if it's from a night vision camera.
Yep.
Right. And recreating things, that is something that we do. If we think we've caught something, especially video-wise, we will
We'll spend like an hour.
recreating.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talk about one of our best pieces is Joe's Ghost. We spent probably an hour trying to recreate that, and we could not recreate it.
We even went back the next day and tried again.
And that's fine. And we joke that it's Joe's ghost, but when we couldn't recreate it, that's finally when Joe was like, "Okay, we caught something."
Yeah.
You got Joe to admit to that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's saying something.
That's why we named the ghost after him.
That's why we call it Joe's Ghost.
I see.
Because he's been ghost hunting for longer than I have.
Oh yes.
Because he's one of the first people I went with. And he's always said he would never believe it until he come up and shook his hand or something. You know, he had to have something that really...
Very obvious experience.
Yeah, and that got him. So, yeah.
I'm sorry I wasn't there for that one.
I know. Post-town elementary folks, that place is legit.
Yeah, but it is a good example that we were able to try to recreate that several times. The same people. I mean, we literally caught it. We took a break. We went back up and tried to recreate it 30 minutes later.
And then we went in the daytime
Yeah.
to see if we could, figure out what might have interfered or might have been, and nothing. There was nothing that could have.
Yeah.
No. It's pretty impressive.
So something that I wanted to bring up just to touch on is that if you actually are investigating, it's really good to get in the habit of saying when you do things. That's something that we started doing really early on that really helps when you go back through footage or audio, whatever. Maybe you're doing an audio session and you have to clear your throat like we've been doing this whole time we've been sitting here. And you go, that was Becca. That was me.
Right.
Or your stomach growls, or you shuffle your feet, or you breathe heavy.
The
Something.
chair you're sitting in squeaks.
Yeah.
Hey, that was my chair.
Yeah.
Or if you farted, hey, that was my chair.
Well, I usually just say, hey, that was Becca.
But yeah, own up to it. And that way when you go back through and you hear something, then you'll say, okay, I can ignore that and move on to the next thing that no one claims. You know?
If you hear something that no one speaks after, then you know that that's probably something that nobody heard at the time.
Yeah.
Or they did hear
And just
and
say,
they didn't have an explanation for.
Yeah.
And it's also good, and I know it's, like you said, it seems kind of simple, but at the same time, if you hear something, if you catch something, it's good to say to somebody you're with, did you hear that? I heard a voice.
Right.
Because that
Or
way
say,
you can...
did you hear something?
Yes. Yes. And you can tag it that way.
And there's been several incidences that AJ's asked me that and kept it vague enough. And I said, yes, I heard whatever. And it would be the exact same thing that he did.
Yeah. But it's, like I said, it's a good way to tag it, especially if you're recording it, because when you go back, you can go, here it is. This is where it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also then go back and debunk it the same way. It's either a catch or a debunk, and I think that's a good way to tag it.
Right.
Even if you're not recording video or audio, you're just there in the moment. I think it's still good to do these things. I had an instance where I was with one other person, and it was just us two in a hallway, and I was seeing something that I thought to myself, oh, that's just something that my brain is making up. And because, we're hardwired to see patterns and images and faces specifically. And I was seeing the silhouette of a head and shoulders pop out from a doorway. And I thought, surely I'm making that up. And then the person I was with leaned over and said, are you seeing something down there in the doorway? And I said, "Yeah, I am. What are you seeing?" And she said, "I see a Head and Shoulders popping out of that doorway every so often." And I was like, "Oh, me too." And so it's really interesting, especially if you keep it vague when you first ask somebody, because it's also a way to double check that you're not just making it up.
And you're not influencing them to see something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we went down there and we investigated and couldn't really find anything that there wasn't a loose curtain, which loose curtains, they are the worst when you're hunting for anything.
They cast shadows.
They rustle.
Yeah.
They do all the things that you want to hear and see, but they're not what you're looking for.
Right.
This is not the curtain you were looking for. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But what I was trying to say is, even if you're not recording, it's always good to ask people if they're seeing things, but keep it vague.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. A lot of times, Lynn and I get on the same wavelength when we hunt together. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, we'll just look at each other, and it's like, we know that something just happened, and we both experienced the same thing. And it's just that look, and then we'll say, did you, what did you just see, or what did you just hear?
What did you feel? Did you walk into that too?
Yeah. So, it does happen. You know, another part of the debunking part is taking the time to go back and go through your recordings, audio, visual, whatever it may be, because you will catch things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't hear everything with your ears,
Right.
and the recording picks up on a lot of things that you don't hear, so you never know.
Welcome back to Weirdos in the Wild. Before we return to our program, AJ and I would like to take a moment to remember my brother John Tincher, co-founder of Beyond This Life Paranormal, and Alan Oxley, AJ's father. Both passed away just before we recorded our first episode. Each and every episode going forward, from this one on, will be in remembrance of them. Thank you. Feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or energetically off balance? It might be time to reconnect with yourself. At Mystic Bliss Reiki, we offer heart-centered healing using Usui Holy Fire and Karuna Reiki to help you release stress, clear energetic blockages, and awaken your inner peace. Whether you're seeking personal transformation, looking to heal from past emotional wounds, or curious about your soul's journey through past life regression, Mystic Bliss Reiki is your sacred space for spiritual renewal. We also offer certified Reiki training so you can not only receive healing, but also become a healer. Sessions are available in person or online, so wherever you are, your healing can begin. Are you ready to feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned? Visit mysticblissreiki.com and book your session today. Where energy flows, healing begins.
Looking for your next favorite book? Or maybe your next ghost story? From the Ground Up Books isn't just a bookstore, it's an experience. With 2 unique locations in LaGrange and Shepherdsville, we're proud to be a local hub for readers, writers, and lovers of the unusual. Our LaGrange store is tucked inside the historic Ballard House, built in 1840, and yes, it's haunted. Join us for book signings, author events, and ghost hunts through this legendary Kentucky landmark. Or stop by our Shepherdsville store, nestled along the Bourbon Trail, for small-town charm, indie reads, and a few spirited surprises of its own. So if you love books, community, and just the right amount of weird, come visit us in person or explore online at FromTheGroundUpBooks.com. From the Ground Up Books. Read local, feel the history, keep it weird, y'all.
You know, like the dog bark. Oh, we did hear the dog bark because we all said, was that a dog barking?
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't hear it, and then you'll hear it on the recording. The very first EVP we got, that's the one I was trying to think of, where AJ and I both had felt like we walked into something.
Was that when you were in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you hear on the recording, say something. You hear it kind of whisper, say something. or whatever, and we didn't. Neither one of us heard that, but we knew something. We had walked through something, and so that kind of gave us a little more oomph to our story. It's the fact that we both felt something, and then we heard on the recording that EVP.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm bad about not recording stuff. I've gotten bad about that, which is kind of a. Recently, I have, and I think, well, Lynn, I think we've both kind of done it now, is that we like to be in the moment, experiencing things more than worrying about
equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it really sucks that when you see all those people posting videos like, oh, all of our equipment failed. I mean, it's so true. When you go out there and you do things and you may have actual activity, none of your equipment will work the way you want it to. It will die almost immediately. And then it's kind of like you get in this headspace of, well, what's even the point of, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you need your cell phone in order to get back wherever you're going, you don't want to be recording with it and it die from recording.
Either from recording or from spirit stealing your energy, right?
Exactly.
Because that happens.
Even if you don't believe in it, it's best to have some kind of reserve something. But
outside is a whole different
ball game. Yeah.
And it's really hard outside. I mean, we've sent you stuff from outside before. You have the noise pollution, the light pollution. You get animals, cars. I mean, it's bad. But we've caught some great stuff outdoors. I mean, Lynn one of our top 3 catches you caught outdoors. For sure. But in that case too, we instantly tried to recreate that one as well. We continued to take pictures. We caught three soldiers on camera
in Perryville battlefield
on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Which the iPhone may be the greatest piece of equipment we use all the time.
Yeah.
But we tried to recreate that. We kept taking pictures and we couldn't recreate it. We couldn't debunk that because I don't know what that was, except that we got lucky and we caught something that night. But also being outside is hard. It is, you get lots of crazy things happen. We had a falling star that night.
Yeah.
Of all the crazy things happening.
Wow.
It was huge.
I mean,
huge.
So you get things that you don't even think about. I'm the person that loves to go outside and hunt outside. Everybody else hates it, I think, but I love it.
I'm out there with you some, but
it's
you wander.
I do wander. I wander outside. I wander off by myself. I know it. It's like the unknown piece that I know that this house may be haunted, but I got to know what's outside too.
Yeah.
I really like the graveyards. I love being out in graveyards. Those are so much fun. They're so chill, so relaxed on the whole.
That's it. We'll have to do an episode on graveyards sometime because we haven't done that, have we?
No, we haven't.
I've had, and people ask me this all the time. They find out I ghost hunt. Oh, you go to graveyards? What have you seen in graveyards? Nothing. Zero. Nothing. I have saw nothing, had anything happen when I've been in a graveyard.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Me either.
Really?
Yeah. But I've never really ghost hunted one and tried to do it. I've always been there to, either bury somebody or at least visit their tombstone.
Yeah.
I've never been there with the mindset of ghost hunting.
I
I've driven
haven't
by
either.
there thinking that several
I
times.
haven't either.
But
We've done a couple places that have graveyards at that location.
yes,
Yeah.
I take that back. We did do at Octagon Hall because they have the
little cemetery.
the slave cemetery, their little cemetery, and those I think 2 unknown soldiers. So
We
we
did
have
the one
investigated
with-
that at least.
I'm not going to give the location name, but the place we did with Keith.
Yes.
And we did that graveyard. Nothing.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
At either one, not even at Octagon Hall. And other people have, but we didn't.
Nothing. Nothing.
Well, the one at Octagon Hall, I didn't even feel anything.
Yeah.
It was very, very quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Octagon Hall's weird because the house would be active one day and outside would be active the next. I mean, it's weird.
It is very.
But it's a very, very active place in general.
Yeah, because that's exactly what happened to us being there. It's been one time outside, one time inside. I mean, it just, yeah, it's a crazy place. There's weird shit going on there. So, but back to our debunking. Anything else that, like, when you think about it, like when you're seeing things, maybe like with somebody, because we all see the videos online too, and I can think of one situation where somebody sent, it was in a video. I'm not going to say what. You know what it is. It was a Bigfoot video. Later on down the line, the person that took the video found out the person lied to them. And they intentionally tried to fake this. The funny part was, I sat there and I watched this video, and I was taking notes because we were going to talk to this person, and I was going to ask him all about it because I found it fascinating. This whole video, what he had done, I found it all fascinating. And I remember watching that video, and I remember even taking a note and saying, that was close. Meaning that was really close to a microphone. We get used to listening to things, and we get used to telling how far, as we're listening to evidence or we're listening to things, how close or how far something is. And I realized this was really close. Come to find out, it was really close because he faked it.
I see.
So when you see videos and things like that, do you ever just think like that too? Like, wow, that sounded odd. Or,
yeah, definitely. I've seen a couple of videos where there's something that happens in the distance, but it sounds like it happened right next to you, right? There's no way. If you're shooting it on an iPhone, it's not going to sound like you're 6 inches away.
Yeah.
And it's something happening 20 feet down the hall. Absolutely not. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Not the exact video, but I've seen instances of that. I've also seen instances where I know that there were more people in the room because you can hear them in the background. And you know that they're people because never have I ever heard something remotely paranormal where you could pick out distinct voices and distinct words at the same time. You know, sometimes you hear something that's weird that sounds like multiple voices, but you can't pick out words. Or you hear something that's weird and you hear a couple of distinct words, but it's one voice, right? I've never heard any piece of evidence that has multiple voices that are clear. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the people in the back of the room, or at least behind the camera, were making shadows. And they were trying to pass it off. So, I mean, you just need to not blindly trust everything you see. And but what I look for mostly is in videos, I look for the windows. That's what I look for. Are there a lot of cars going by? Is there already a natural light source out there? You know, what could people be seeing if they're seeing things? But there are some videos that have no windows and it's just dark.
Yep.
So those are the interesting ones. But usually the one with windows, I have a little bit of distrust, I would say, mistrust, because those can be easily faked.
Yeah. And I don't think that, well, I shouldn't say that. I think there are people that they do try to fake things. I mean, just like I said, that video before, that person tried to fake that sound. But I also think that people don't try to fake stuff, but then they do try to say, yeah, this happened, and it can be easily debunked. And it's kind of falls back on that thing, well, everything is paranormal.
Right.
Right. I mean, even myself this last week, I thought I caught a shadow on the security cam in my own closet. And I was so excited and thinking, okay, I can't reason this. The shadow's coming from this direction. The door's always shut, blah, 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 blah. Then I went through and accidentally recreated it myself. And the shadow that I went through the exact same spot, the exact same way, with the door open. I'm like, okay, so the door was open and one of us walked through and it just happened to get caught on the security cam. So, I mean, sometimes you got to debunk yourself too. Sometimes this stuff happens and at first you think you can't explain it, but something may happen that
You said that.
You can.
You said that to me, and and
you were really excited.
I was excited but of course, the first thing I do when Lynn sends me some, I just start asking her questions.
Yeah.
Where was this? When was this?
Could it have been?
Could it have been this? I see the curtain moving. Is the window? What's behind that window? I know Lynn's house. Was it in the front of your house? Was it in the back of your house?
Right.
That kind of thing. So there's a lot of questions that we ask each other. I couldn't figure it out because I didn't know exactly. I've never been in Lynn's closet, but I was like, could it have been this? Could it have been that? And then I was like, hey, why is your curtain moving? And she was like, oh, there's a vent there. Mm-hmm. Okay, we explained that one out real quick. But yeah, it was one of those things where it was kind of cool because I didn't know what it was, but it was definitely a shadow.
Yeah.
But
and it had a sound.
It did.
We couldn't explain the sound, so whichever one of us happened to be walked by there, we either stomach gurgled or something. I don't know.
Somebody farted
but there was a sound
at the door.
Yeah. Well, there's not a toilet in that part, so I don't know why we were back there in the middle of the night, but who knows?
But yeah, it's a very good example, a very recent example. So, anything else you want to add, Becca?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. I was trying to think of something too, because you've been through so much with us, and we have so many stories.
I'll tell you what was the weirdest thing that I still don't know how to debunk it, because we were the only people there and none of us were smoking weed. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we just smelled weed. And I can tell the difference between weed and skunk.
Uh-huh.
And it definitely wasn't that. But that was a weird one. And that property is completely closed to the public. I mean, there are fences. You cannot get up there.
And it's like 3 or 4 stories up is where we were. Yeah.
We know that we were locked in. So that one still gets me. Because I don't know how you fake a smell. Because it hadn't been there before. We did a whole walkthrough before. Then the people who worked there left into their little sanctuary, and they never left their sanctuary.
Right.
So.
And then we found out later that that's not the first time that's been smelled there.
Yeah.
So I think we could tell about where that was.
No, that's up to you.
It was at Waverly Hills, up by the elevator.
I had forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right at the elevator shaft. I looked at John and I said, "Do you smell weed?" And he was like, "Yeah." "Yeah, I do."
Yep.
And I was like, "Is there somebody else up here?" And
is there a homeless person living in the elevator? I mean,
I don't know where a homeless person would get weed.
No, they can get it. Anybody can get it.
It's in Kentucky. It's on every corner. Literally.
True. Fair enough.
But yeah, we didn't even think about smells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've ran into that before. We've smelled perfume. We've smelled like
tobacco,
cigarettes, pipe tobacco.
Yep.
Now you get just old building smell a lot. I mean, I think everybody knows what that is, but
or like damp.
Yeah.
It just smells damp.
Damp and that musty smelling. We end up in a lot of basements.
Yep.
But yeah, when you smell something like that, or you walk into it, that's a hard one to explain. It really is.
Yeah, it's hard to debunk.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
The one we did debunk one smell. I don't know if you remember this. It was a cigarette, tobacco smell, but we only smelled it when the air kicked on.
Yes.
Because it was in the vent system.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is one that there is a way to debunk smells, but you need to be aware of that one because we hadn't even thought of that.
Right.
That the smell would be in the vents, but not in the rest of the building.
Yeah. I think it was because, I think the only reason why we really figured that out is because this was at the Hannah house. Because when that would kick on, it was so loud.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it just clicked that whenever I was getting kind of annoyed at that because I was trying to listen to something, would be when we would smell it. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Then we found, a little bit later, it happened again. So we're like, okay, yeah. That's what it is. It's coming through the vent.
I completely forgot about that whole experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, things can be debunked. I mean, I think you have to. I think the most fun thing is when you really try to debunk it and you absolutely can't.
Yeah.
Because then you know that you actually got something. And I think that if you want to be a good hunter, you should try to debunk it. Because then you can, if you can't, then, I don't know, it gives a little bit more weight to what you find. Right.
And even though, I mean, like us, we put ourselves in these situations with investigating. We put ourselves in these places where we know there's activity, and we get a lot of stories that we can't explain. But when you do actually go through and you try to explain them and you do debunk it, like you just said, it kind of leads more credence to the fact that, hey, maybe they're not making up the other stuff. Because out in everyday life, things happen every day, everywhere. But you may not notice it. But when you know you're in one of these hot spots, I think you're kind of primed to see it sometimes because you're expecting to and you're looking for it. And maybe a lot of that is brought on because of that. But, I think also, too, you're putting yourself in a position where there, for sure there is something and you do get to experience it. And when you do, make sure you validate what you've experienced.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also hard because, I mean, we've ran into this where, when we've talked about this a lot of times, we have got some crazy good evidence. And we don't put it out there. A lot of it we don't put out there because the first thing we get is that's bullshit.
Right.
And to tell you the truth, I just don't want to hear it.
Right.
I know.
And I'm not doing it to try to make
and
somebody else believe it.
Right.
Right.
We're not on TV.
Right. We do this show, of course, but
we're barely podcasters. But we don't do it for that, and that's part of the reason why we don't put it out there. Is we don't want what comes with it.
Right. But when we have people ask, we do show them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and we've got a little bit out there. Some of our very best is on our weirdosinthewild.com or whatever, but we're not like putting it out on Facebook and all over the place.
And that's just a tiny, tiny bit of what we have is out there. So,
and we've probably got a lot more that we don't have because
it's not our priority to put it out for everyone to see. So,
well, and some of it's kind of personal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is personal. And some of it is, I get that that a lot of people would say, oh, that's not real.
Yeah. And I do to their stuff too. We all need to be skeptical.
We do. Yeah. And at the same, that's one of the things that I always say is, people tell me crazy stories. Well, if I told you that, I've been touched and poked and, I heard voices and footsteps and
I've saw
shadow people. I've saw a full body apparition,
Yeah.
Why can't you say you saw Dog Man and Bigfoot? Who makes me better than you? So
right.
That's my kind of thing. So now I have heard some weird shit that I probably would, no way, dude. But but anyway, I heard somebody tell me they saw a dinosaur once.
I once heard somebody tell me that the Loch Ness Monster is a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That can travel in a portal under Loch Ness to the past and to the future. So it's a time-traveling dinosaur in the loch. And that's why it's not always there. Sometimes it's in the past.
Okay. All right.
So that might be true.
That might be. We don't know.
We can't debunk it.
We
so.
can't. We can't. That might have been that weed we smelled at Waverly Hills. Who knows?
Did we see Bigfoot that night too?
We did
know?
not. No, we've still not seen Bigfoot.
I haven't seen him out in the Pacific Northwest either. It's been very sad.
Yeah.
That is sad. I mean, that should be the reason for you being there.
Yeah.
Well, she's in a city. She needs to get out of the city.
She does.
I'm waiting for the mountains to
Yeah.
To thaw.
fall out. Yep.
I'm sure your husband will go boating with you.
Yeah. He doesn't like the outdoors.
Well, we might just go outdoors here because we're recording in a different location tonight.
Yeah.
That would be Lynn's kitchen.
And I took a picture.
So we're in the woods. Maybe we'll see Bigfoot tonight. Who knows?
They say that he's around here. I've been up here 14 years and
Still think he's here.
I don't know. It's not meant for me to see him, I guess.
No, you got some bobcats out here, though.
Got some bobcats. I got a ghost. Several
Coyote.
ghosts. Yep. So we got things up here. You never know. Never know.
Things. Yep,
Things that go bump.
definitely. Well, I think that's about all we've got tonight for debunking. But there's always some things we almost forget at the end.
Yeah, we have sponsors.
We do.
We have Dimensions Radio, which is part of Crossroads LaGrange. And also we're part of now the Crossroads LaGrange family with McGill Media, with getting ready to open the Salt River Current within From the Ground Up Books, which is also a sponsor and my bookstore. And then we also have Mystic Bliss Reiki, who is very supportive of us, as well as every now and then you hear from Missy, who ghost hunts with us as well. I think that's it for now.
All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this. We are glad to have Becca with us again. So
Always.
always, and we will continue to send stuff her way for her to debunk for us.
We got to get back out there first to do it.
We do, and we got to get her back out with us too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
All right, Lynn.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone, and keep it weird, y'all.
Thank you for joining us at Weirdos in the Wild. Please show us some love and support on our Patreon account at Weirdos in the Wild. Like us on all of our social media. And if you've had an experience you'd like to share with us, visit our site at weirdosinthewild.com. Until next time, keep it weird, y'all.